Are you ready? Welcome to Almond Delights Reading Corner. Relax your spirit, relax your mind, relax your soul as we get into this book. The first book in our series will be The Epiphani, a love and gospel music novel by yours truly, Timothy Blaine. So head on over to Amazon.com to download your copy today. All the links will be down in the description bar. Please go support our authors and read along with the Almond Delights. Are you ready? Shh. Let's read. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Almond Delights Reading Corner, where we will continue to read The Epiphani by Mr. Timothy Blaine. And first and foremost, I would like to dedicate this live to Bashful B's father, who passed away this morning. So we're going to have a little small moment of silence, you guys, for his father. Okay, so we're going to continue to read, and Lord, so I have to do the, oh my God, the recap, so we know that, listen, my mind is all over the place right now. I can't even give y'all a recap. I can't even lie. Listen, I'm sorry. I can't even give y'all a recap. If y'all want to know what happened last week, baby, go listen to the 7th reading of the Almond Delights Reading Corner. Baby, that just went over my head. I swear I forgot what it was. I know, but listen, please charge it to my head and not my heart, okay? But we're going to start reading. We're on chapter 14. We are almost done with this book. I am so upset that we are almost done with this book, but so next week will probably be the last week of the book. But you guys know this will be a 45-minute read, hopefully. And then at the end, if Mr. Timothy is here, he will come up. And if anybody else want to come up and discuss the book and what we've been reading, then you'll feel free to come up so we can discuss the book. But I'm going to start with chapter 14, and a disclaimer. There are some choice words in this book that y'all know Miss Almond Brown will never normally say. But I will read the book in its entirety and every word that is in here, okay? So y'all sit back, get y'all drinks. If y'all have a drink, water, juice, whatever you want to drink, honey. If you have your books, read along with us. And I want to thank, again, everybody that has purchased the book and his other books in his series. But we're going to start at chapter 14. Colleen is beside herself. And we know Colleen, that is Ryan's mother. Or shall we say Sky. Oh, finna beep it out. I have to say it. It just won't be right if I don't read the book the way it is. So, okay. Colleen Prescott was standing near a low burning hearth in her massive white and beige neoclassically designed private bedroom on the Upper East Side, enjoying a second afternoon martini when the call came in. "What?" she yelled into the receiver. "You idiot! You fucking incompetent moron!" "Now, hold on there, Miss Press." "Shut your stupid mouth. I pay you good money," she continued. "And for what? I could have paid a chimpanzee and gotten better results." "You want the report or not, lady?" "You just gave me the fucking report. You've lost him. It's San Francisco all over again. I would not be made a fool of. Do you understand me? I won't have it. Yeah, I understand you good enough, said the private detective Andre Woods. Look, lady, somebody else got there first. I was casing a joint when all of a sudden the homeowner comes running out of the house carrying a dog and two cats. You're what you call casing the joint and don't see murderers or bad or mad bombers coming back and forth? Some fucking detective. I think we ought to take the volume down a notch or two. After all, we're talking about murder here. Don't patronize me, asshole. I don't think you fully comprehend exactly who you fucking with. That's what the problem is, Mrs. Prescott. I do know exactly who I'm fucking with. You might want to think about being a little nicer to me. Are you threatening me? You worthless piece of street trash? You think it may be blackmail? You don't have the balls, mister. Colleen? It was her husband, Mr. Raymond Prescott, making a rare appearance in her private bedroom. The couple shared a grand master bedroom at the other end of a luxurious penthouse apartment. Little more than a prop for appearances, really, since Raymond rarely slept there either. He slept most nights in his rooftop man cave or a much more comfortable bed over on the west side. Colleen, what's going on here? Who are you? She slammed down the receiver. Stupid dry cleaners, she said, ruined a $12,000 vintage Halston. Well, this time I won't let them. Bullshit. I was standing just outside the door. What are you up to, Colleen? I could ask you the same question. What? Answer my damn question. You answer mine first. Really, Raymond? $32,000 in jewelry to wrap around that slut? You could have spent $20. She wouldn't have known the difference. What are you talking about? Who lost who? What the hell are you up to now? You better pray it's not divorce. Actually, I'd rather that. I'd like that very much. In fact, why don't we start? Unless you're ready to talk about half of your half of the assets, plus both apartments, you may feel free to leave my room. And don't think for a moment that I'm not fully aware of the condition of the Prescott Trust. You've been a careless fool for far too long, Raymond. Let's not pretend you really want to divorce me and all my money. You're a disgrace to the name you carry. Now go on, Raymond. Get out of here. Go back to your pole dancing whore. I feel my stomach churning. You've reneged on our deal too many times, Colleen. I wouldn't push my luck any further if I were you. This is New York City after all. Anything could happen. You whore-loving bastard, she yelled, flinging a freshly poured martini into his face. Get out! Get out! This room is much too clean for whore-paying Johns. I'm not going to slap you because I know you're drunk, even though it's hardly past noon, and because I know you'd involve the police with great pleasure. Nothing quite does it like allegations of domestic violence, especially when they're backed up by, well, at least you're not stupid. A ridiculous, aging, broke clown, yes, but you're not a stupid person, Raymond. I'll give you that. Now get out before I punch myself in the eye and call them anyway. I don't give a damn how many attorneys you hire, Colleen. I'm through with this charade and I'm through with you. Get ready for the fight of your life, lady. I ain't no fucking lady. I would have thought you'd figure that out by now, asshole. She threw the martini glass. Grazing his head, it smashed against the door frame. You want another cup of tea, baby? Said Edna. Water still hot? No thanks, said Dallas. I think I need a shot of something a little stronger. Edna, gonna make sure you only have a couple doses. No need in you getting drunk, son. Lot of things to figure out. Best keep a sharp mind. Thanks for coming, Miss Edna, he said. I think I'd lose my mind if I had to be here alone. Sure is nice, ain't it? Hard to believe Pastor and First Lady calls this their guest house. They're both pastors, Miss Edna? My day, the first wife called First Lady, evangelist at most. Anyway, this house real nice. Bet you been inside the mansion, huh, Dallas? Sure. It's like a museum in there. Art, antiques, servants, the works. Why we hitting out back here, Dallas? Now tell old Edna the truth. Ours ain't no food. It's kind of complicated, Edna. Dallas, you know I got a right to know what's going on. I see them big gorillas walking back and forth in the front and back. Plus, I heard my sister about what was on the TV news yesterday. On the right to let me know what's going on, son. Especially if there's danger. I'm sorry, Miss Edna. Cops made me promise. But of course, you have to know what's going on. So you already know what was found in the house? Yes, but you see I'm still here. Pastor say old Edna is the only one you trust. Staying here with you and all, I mean. I do appreciate it, Edna. There's lots of security and plenty folk working the case. Still, you're going to get a huge bonus. Plus, I'm paying you double. No idea about who done it, baby? Nothing yet. This one we gotta pray hard, Dallas. Edna gonna put the blessed oil all over this here place. No demon gonna get through my seal. Don't worry, baby. Oh, Edna here now. We can't leave the house, Edna. Not even here on the estate, said Dallas, holding out a gadget towards her. This is a secured signal. Connects with security. The pastor, 911, or me. That's it. You need anything down to milk or toilet paper? Call security. Okay? Just like on the movies. Yeah, I understand, Dallas. Now, let me fix you that nice cup of chamomile tea, good for calming your nerves. Ryan, what are you doing? Screamed Heather. Stop it, Ryan, stop it. You're scaring me. Go back to bed, Heather, said Ryan as he continued to load his 9mm. Someone's got to stop this. What? What are you talking about, Ryan? You're going to shoot somebody? Stop this now. Whatever it is about Ryan, I will not let you leave this house with a loaded gun. Do you hear what I'm saying? I called the police. I bet you would, too. Are you in on this, Heather? Has my mother gotten to you? Promised you something grand? What? I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. How dare you say that to me? My name is Sky. Skylar Davenport. That's what I'm talking about. Are you forgetting who you're talking to, Ryan Prescott? You think I, of all people? It's not you I distrust. It's that over-made up Botox injected hag. What have you told her about us, Heather? What does that woman know about our life? You want to shoot Colleen? That's insane. I can't Somebody planted a bomb in the dresser. Oh my God! Oh my God, Ryan! You're positive she hasn't seen Cody? You had no contact with her? Ryan, even your mother is not that evil is the word. And yes, my mother is every bit capable of this. You're positive she knows nothing about the boys? Swear it. Can you? How can I swear to what she knows, Ryan? We live in the same city, for God's sake. I can only say that I've had no contact with her since Cody's birth. Gloria, said Pastor Brown over his cell. It's me, honey. Look, I'm on my way over. I need you to call an emergency staff meeting in 1 hour. Also, prepare to Skype or teleconference everybody involved in the tour. It's being called off, sir? Make sure every promoter that can be reached is on that call as well. I'll be there in 30 minutes. I don't know that I can do this in an hour, Pastor, said Gloria. Half the staff are already moving. Is Dallas all right, Pastor? I'll talk to you in a few minutes, Gloria. But no, he's not all right. Something horrible has happened. So, how long have you been a queen, baby? Said Edna naively. What? Miss Edna, what makes you think I'm anything like what would be considered by anybody a queen? Said Dallas, not taking offense and just bored enough to engage in such a conversation. You must be getting vocabulary from them reality TV shows. Edna don't mean no harm, baby, she said. Yeah, gotta admit, I do watch the shows, especially the ones take place in Atlanta. My Joey talk about Queens a lot too, especially the old ones. My Joey laugh and laugh about folk don't act and dress they age. Y'all saying you're supposed to Dallas? Well, people feel different about those kind of things. Mostly gay people talk that way amongst each other. Some even call each other queers. Myself, I just like to be called Dallas. See, now old Edna done learned something new. Anybody else I'd be feeling real embarrassed right now, but you and me, we like family now. Sort of like what happened with Joey and me. How so? Well, I come to work for the boys. That's what I calls them, the boys. About 2 years before the devil come to visit. I thought you worked for them a lot longer. Nah, only 2 years for that crazy boy come. Anyway, when I first come, they's both working real hard. Edna hardly see them at all. Well, after the bad thing happened, my Joey, he never got up out of bed. Edna have to do everything for him. Don't even shave, near wash his own face or his own. Anyway, me and my Joey, we get to be real close, real close. But depression demon won't let him go. Lord, oh Edna spent a lot of time on her knees asking the Lord for help him back then. For help back then. I was real worried about him, you know. This went on for a couple of years. Yeah. Things pretty bad around here for a long time. Then one day I come home from a Bible study and my Joey, he gone. That was the San Francisco trip. Found that out a few days later. Lord, I was so mad at that boy. Didn't tell Edna nothing. I take him to be my best friend by then. I was thinking about giving him a good piece of my mind. Maybe quit too then when he come back. You seemed so happy to see him when we... She laughed. Well, son, that's why I like you so much and why I'm standing here with you right now. Man, I don't know what you said or done to my Joey, but whatever it was, God sure enough had to be in it. Now that's the plain truth. Minute I laid eyes on him, I know he was back. Right back like he used to be. Well, after that, you couldn't do no wrong with me, Dallas Withers. You saved my baby's life. I miss him. Oh, God, I miss him, Edna. I know, baby, she said, taking him in her arms. It's okay to cry, Dallas. You cried out real good. Edna, no. Come in, detective. Where's the maid? Edna's lying down, said Dallas. I'd strongly prefer we consider her my companion. Had to check her out, of course, said Detective Barrington. Not a lot of people being let in and out of our little secret, you know. So you investigated Edna? She's not the bomber. Run a few more checks. About 3/4 through the list now. And? Actually, a couple interesting things we're taking a look at. Real interesting things. Okay, so how long you known your assistant, Miss Gloria Carter? I came to Los Angeles and Stratton Records about 9 years ago, detective. I met Gloria and most of the staff at that time. There have only been a few changes. For the moment, let's just focus on Miss Carter. Fine. You've gotten to know her pretty well. I mean, 9 years is a long time. Is that a question or a statement, detective? Record's pretty bad, Dallas, said Barrington, pulling a police notepad from the inside of his pocket. Shoplifting, prostitution, drugs. Anything in the last 30 or so years, detective? Well, actually, let me guess. Nothing, right? Look, detective, I know all about Gloria's past, or at least what she's been courageous enough to share with me and the rest of the world. She's written 2 books. So, you know, he's not really, I know nothing of the sort. Miss Carter is a woman. If you're really curious, I would suggest you read the first chapter of her first book. But I want to make something crystal clear to you, detective. If you or any one of your men say or do anything to make that woman or anyone else on my staff feel any way harassed, we'll take the case private. Actually, you don't have a choice at this point. A crime has been committed and reported. But we're not here to harass anybody. Our mission here is to keep you alive and bring the culprit or culprits to justice. If we can do that without ruffling any feathers, then that would be just great with me. Not likely, though. Okay, so far you've uncovered that my transgendered assistant did a little boosting and tricking back before I was born, and my 73-year-old housekeeper companion is clean. Anything else? Yeah, we talked to San Francisco. Me? So you think I tried to blow myself up, then change my mind and call the cops? Is that it? Wow. I don't give a shit about that little dime bag business. Why did you leave the fucking area? Let me see. Oh yeah, there was that little issue of the recording contract with Stratton. Bullshit. There was a call, came into San Francisco station via 911. Apparently some little street dealing punk fired off a few shots at somebody over in the hay. Wasn't me, but I am curious. Tell me something more about the case. There was no case, and you know it. Report says the evidence seemed planted. No holes in the plaster or furniture anywhere. No blood or evidence of a scuffle. Yet the gun had been recently fired, and there was plenty powdery goods found right where the caller said. Now, why would somebody want to go through all of that trouble? Rival, maybe? As far as I can figure from your record, your little weed dealing empire was what we like to call on the force pitiful. Who had a reason to set you up, Withers? I left town, detective. Not even curious, huh? Those would have been some damn serious charges, mister. Seems to me I'd be having a damn good idea somebody try to do something like that to me. Maybe if I had stuck around. Look, I left the street life and everything attached to it back in San Francisco, detective. In case you haven't noticed, my life has gotten a whole lot different since I got to this town. I can hardly remember all that petty shit I was involved in back then. But as far as somebody following me here to LA or waiting in the shadows for 9 years to suddenly jump out just to blow me up, I don't, nor have I ever had these kind of enemies. No, sir, said Barrington. Sorry to say, you do have at least one. A fan? Maybe it's just another sick asshole. Somebody like that dude killed Dwayne Brown. I remember the case. Come to think of it, there is something about this whole thing that's been bugging the shit out of me. Why you text me? Seems to me if I wanted to blow somebody up, last thing in the world I want to do is let them know I'm coming. Well, you're the detective, said Dallas, thinking it was a damn good question. In fact, the very question he and Samuel had been mulling over since this nightmare began. You guys through with my iPhone? Signal that sent it died somewhere around the Santa Monica Pier. Most likely took a swim. We'll hold on to the phone a while. We through here, detective? I need to take the dog out. Your security should be doing that. Yeah, we got one more subject to cover for now. Tell me about your stepfather. He's an asshole. That's a big club. What makes him stand out? Why? Is he a suspect? That altercation at Mr. White's memorial service for starters. Preachers being escorted off the premises at a time like that? Of course we need to know what went on there. He wasn't invited. For the record, that man is not a preacher, nor is he employed by any church I'm aware of. If I'm misinformed, then whatever ministry he's gotten his claws into is either now or soon to be ripped off. Yes, he's still technically married to my mother, but that glorious day in court is fast approaching. After that, I can assure you, detective, that man will mean absolutely nothing to me. You carry his name until very recently. A wrong was made a right. And scene. We're going to go on a brief intermission before we go on to the next chapter. Thank you. Are you ready? Welcome to Almond Delights Reading Corner, Relax your spirit, relax your mind, relax your soul as we get into this book. The first book in our series will be The Epiphani, a love and gospel music novel by yours truly, Timothy Blaine. So head on over to Amazon.com to download your copy today. All the links will be down in the description bar. Please go support our authors and read along with the Almond Delights. Are you ready? Shh. Let's read. Okay, so we're on chapter 15 of The Epiphani, and the title of this chapter is Our Son. You didn't have to come, man. Of course I had to come, said Sky, as he stepped past the huge security officer posted at the front entrance of the elegant Spanish-style guest house. So the tour is canceled? What's next, Dallas? Dallas wrapped his arms around Sky's long white neck and held on. After long moments, they kissed long and hard. I'm staying, said Sky. Heather sends you her love. Sky, that detective just left. Must have been here 2 hours. Samuel? No, the police detective, Barrington. He was asking a lot of questions about, well, he seemed real interested in Haight Street. Makes sense. Samuel working the same angle? Actually, he's up in San Francisco right now. Listen, man, I didn't say anything about, you know what I mean. I didn't throw out any You think it's her? Huh? No, I didn't say. You're a lousy liar, Dallas. I love that about you. Means you don't practice much. Of course my hateful mother orchestrated that whole business over in the Haight. We both know that. You don't have to pussyfoot around with me. Her soul is rotted at its core. If she's the one that... Any chance at all she knows about Cody? I'll kill her. You hear me? That bitch comes near you or our son, I'll blow her fucking head off. Just as sure as my name is. She wouldn't hurt the baby, Sky. I thought you believed in the existence of evil. Well, let it play out. Okay, so we both know it was most likely her in San Francisco. Samuel and or Barrington ought to be able to verify that pretty quick. That doesn't necessarily mean the cases are connected, Sky. It's been 9 years. If both investigations lead to New York, well then I'm cooperating with the cops, Dallas. Somebody asked me about that woman. You know it's all coming out. I'd say this investigation is moving towards New York City, starting right about now. Get Samuel on the phone. You haven't spoken to your father? I haven't spoken to anybody about this. Well, actually, I was on my way to have a little one-on-one with Colleen until Heather caught me loading a 9mm. Sky! What the hell are you talking? What's in that fucking bag? Oh, this is for my little hero, said Sky, holding up an odd little canvas bag he had been carrying outside of his luggage. Don't worry, babe. I'm not packing, and I haven't shot anybody. Where's the monkey? I hope to God it's not her, Sky, but I feel a whole lot better with you being here in L.A. with me for the moment. Monkey's at the groomers. Little Monster really is a hero. Saved my damn life. Hey, Pastor, come on in, said Dallas, sitting up in bed. It's late. What happened? Sorry, Gloria asked me to see if I can get a message to you. I see the rumor is spreading, said Dallas, holding up a copy of the L.A. Times and a glorified gospel music tabloid he and Sky had been looking over. Guess the story of my new federal rat status was believable enough after all. If whoever it is thinks the feds have you, they won't bother trying to find you, said Sky. It's a good story, Dallas. Except it implies that I know something that the feds could use in prosecution, said Dallas. I don't know shit. Won't take long for the asshole to figure that out when nobody comes kicking through his door. Still, the story will buy us a little time at the very least, said Pastor Brown. Gloria says to tell you that Barrington and his boys have finally taken the yellow tape off that building. You may as well know they don't believe you, Dallas. I've seen the security tapes myself. Brother, there's no one in that office but you. He's talking about me shooting up my office, said Dallas. I don't know what the hell happened in there, Pastor. I remember sitting down at the desk, and I remember Jose and William busting through the door with their guns pulled, and I remember the noise that those horrible floodlights. I remember the noise and those horrible floodlights, that is. That's it. Maybe you dozed off, said Sky. That was one hell of a day, man. Something spooked you and you woke up shooting. Could happen. Whatever happened, said Pastor Brown, at least you called off that damn tour. Let's be grateful for that at least. Pastor, you sure about this? Said Dallas. I mean about us being here. This could be dangerous. Look, Dallas, something real bad happened a few years back. I let that bastard get to my little brother. I could have gotten a whole lot more involved back then. I did it, and Dwayne is dead. That won't happen again. How is he? Asked Dallas concerning baby Cody, the son planned and conceived by his three parents, Heather, the mother, Dallas, the father by artificial insemination, and Sky, the adoptive father. Okay. They were far from a traditional family, but family nonetheless. The boys, Dean and Cody, were brothers. The relationship between the parents not yet fully defined. 10 months, day after tomorrow, right? Beautiful, of course. How could he not be beautiful, Dallas? We've got to get through this mess, man. I need to see him again. Dada? Said Sky, playfully mimicking a baby face. Hey, he's making little words now. I'm afraid Dada is already taken. What's the kid supposed to call you? Good question. I suppose Heather is already using Mama. I need to think about that one. You really think she's okay, Sky? Heather, she's a big girl, Dallas. She knew what she was getting into before she married me. You sacrificed just as much. I haven't had to carry, then give birth to my competition's child. It's a lot, Sky. She doesn't see you that way at all. Of the three of us, I think Heather may very well have the best understanding of bisexuality. Staying with a person like me is complicated and hard. I know that. But you both sacrificed, Dallas. It's because we love you. But just for the record, I can't remember you checking out or making mention of any woman's ass or tits. Not one time. Not even on the big screen. That would be highly inappropriate. I wouldn't ever, not even when we were platonic roommates, not one date or flirtation or knock it off, Dallas. On the other hand, I've seen many double takes of passing men, especially hunky Latin men. You having a good time? Then there's all that porn. Come on, man. Really? Just stop. All right, so I'm on his ass, said Samuel over his cell. Looks like the plant job was done by a private dick named Andre Woods. Problem is, he's not local. You sure it's him? Said Dallas. I mean, what evidence do you... It was him, all right. Got a solid ID from the asshole that sold him that piece and the coke. Even got a little grainy video from a business across the street from your old place. No question, Woods did the plan. Damn, you're good, Samuel. So what happens now? Actually, I'm just leaving JFK. Perp works out of an office over on the west side of Manhattan. Sorry about that extra expense, but I gotta move quickly before he gets tipped off. Okay, but I want you to call me back if this is going to require getting anybody else involved, especially the cops. Keep this line clear, Dallas. Click. Boom. Ba-bang, boom. The elevator shook, rattled, and rattled just as it passed the fourth floor, making its way towards the fifth floor office live space of one private detective, Andre Woods. Moments later, there was a much louder blast heard by hundreds over on the east side. Samuel pulled his gun by instinct, but his gun was useless to protect or pursue anyone. He was stuck on an elevator between floors. From the floor above, he could hear the crackling and popping of a fast-moving inferno. From below, the rustling and screams of panicked people stomping and jumping down the stairways. He did the only thing he could do in such a circumstance. Derek Samuel began to scream. As he screamed, he prayed that someone would get to him before the smoke filled the elevator shaft. The blast over on the east side was twice as loud and twice as deadly. Colleen Prescott's body was ripped into 100 pieces. Both her, butler, and housemaid were incinerated within moments of accepting a large package sent over from the farriers at Bloomingdale's. If only Colleen hadn't snatched the box so violently from her butler, then, just maybe, the lives of the servants might have been spared. And scene. That was chapter 14 and 15 of the Epiphani by Mr. Timothy Blaine. We are done with our read for this week. So we see, baby. So they got, they started to figure out that Colleen was the one that set up Ryan and Dallas over in San Francisco when she found out that her son was gay. She tried to set the boyfriend up. But then we also learned, so I'm going to drop the link though, but then we also learned that Dallas actually fathered the child. So we know Dallas and Sky, aka Ryan, they're a gay couple, but Ryan had to marry a woman and have a child in order for him to inherit the $20 million from his grandparents. So they cooked up something with old Heather and they had a child. So Dallas artificially inseminated Heather to have a baby. So they have children together. So they're still connected, although they're on separate sides of the world right now. Ryan, aka Sky, is in New York and Dallas is in San Francisco. So, baby, they got a whole lot going on. Oh. But then Samuel, the detective, gets to New York and he's figuring out he figured out who the person was that planted the drugs and the guns that was trying to set up Ryan and Dallas. But then, child, he gets stuck in a whole elevator and about to get incinerated. And then we see that Colleen done got blown up to smithereens. And I wonder who did it. Because I know Ryan didn't do it. I don't think Ryan did it. But we're going to bring you on. Are you ready? Hi.
Hello.
What's going on?
I think the backstory came back to you.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know why. It just went right over my head. I couldn't even get it out. So I said,
Right.
let me just read.
You remember better than I do. I didn't remember all that.
But yes, I'm shocked that Dallas actually fathered the kids with Heather and Ryan or Prescott or Sky.
So there's one kid with Heather and Ryan, and the other kid. So they wanted to be a family,
right?
That Dallas participate and then have a baby with her. So they were all three parents.
I was not expecting it at all. I was not expecting it. So when they kept asking about Cody, I'm like, well, we haven't heard Cody in the story yet. So I'm like, well, who is that? But then it turns out that's his child.
Colleen could not. If Colleen knew about Cody, she would become murderous. I mean, the boy knows his mother.
Yeah.
Cody would be the heir. So she didn't want him to have no other heir. Because all the money would go to Cody instead of her other grandchild.
Wow.
It'll go to both of them,
Colleen is so
about his money.
Colleen is vicious.
Not anymore.
Right. That is the mother-in-law from hell. Oh my God. So how did you come up with the concept of them having a child together, like each one of those impregnating her to have a child?
Well, I just wanted to blend the families so that not one is not being cheated on or anything like that. They were all one family. But he still has two different lives. He has a life in L.A. with Dallas, and a life in New York City
So,
with his wife.
so did he ever actually meet Heather? Cause
Yeah,
it
they know each other.
oh, okay.
Yeah, he had to meet her. He put his thing in her. Remember, they had a baby together. Oh, it was artificial
Yeah,
insemination.
it was artificial. So he didn't necessarily have to meet her.
Right, but yeah, but
You
he tried to
know,
know each other.
he could have been in the same building with her and did his business, and then they took it over there and did. So he didn't
Yeah, that's
necessarily have
true.
to meet
Right,
her.
right. No, he knows her. The book ain't over yet. I mean, it almost is, but
I know. So, but did Ryan and Heather actually do it the normal way?
yeah, yeah. They have another son.
So why did Dallas tell him he never even heard him talking about breast or butts, but he slept with her?
Right, but he loves Heather as his wife. I mean, he had to choose a wife, and he chose Heather. But he's probably primarily homosexual. Dallas is just saying, I just don't remember you looking at a woman. So he's kind of teasing and razzing him a bit.
Yeah.
But that don't mean that when he's with a woman, he's not with a woman.
Well, I'm ready to figure out who this was that burned down this building because they did it at the same time in two in
That's
two
not gonna be
separate
wrong.
places.
Right, right,
Cause Colleen was the only one that I would think that would do that. So now it's somebody else out there that knew about their secret.
right,
Cause
right.
it was only, well, I don't think the dad, well, I'm not gonna try to figure it out. I'm gonna wait to read. Cause I
You know,
don't want you to tell me, but
you have just two chapters left, right?
yep, just 2 chapters left.
Okay, more will be revealed.
Oh gosh, I'm so I'm so mad it's about to be over, but I'm like, oh, it's just so much going on for it to be only 2 chapters left. But I know it's another book, after this one
Right, right.
that. So I have to read the other book, the next ones to figure it out or whatnot. But
Muse. It's called Muse. Yes.
my
I love
gosh.
the blonde hair.
Listen, I don't know who I was channeling today, but I was just like, I need to come on here as somebody totally different. I hope I was not Colleen,
Right.
because I hope I'm not channeling her right now. I am sweet, baby. I ain't trying to blow nobody up.
Right. Right.
I'm not doing any of that. But yes, I was feeling really blondish today. I don't know, so
Right. Right.
I'm a whole character. But
Right.
have you started back writing again since last week when I talked
Yes,
to you?
I've been with this news story that's possibly about the this
Mm-hmm.
about the show. It's not specifically about the show. It's a murder mystery. Like this is basically a murder. It becomes a murder mystery.
Right.
So that's what it is. But it's people are killing. Some people are somebody's doxing, and
Oh, I can't wait.
some people getting killed.
Now, don't you take 3 years for us to get this book, okay?
A year is the limit. A year is the limit for got to be all the way finished in a year.
Yeah.
No longer than that. No, I don't want to do that ever again. That original Love and Gospel Music was 3.5 years, but that was because the editing took so long.
So is he going to edit this book as well for you?
Oh, I haven't got nearly that far yet.
Oh, okay.
In the first couple of pages, or first page, really. The first couple of pages is the hardest one, the first chapter of any book, because you're making it up. You got to make up all the characters, all the places, all the scenarios, all the backstories. So that first chapter really goes slow. So I understand that and expect it. So
So do you sit down and write down like the plot, the characters, and everything like that you're gonna
no,
have?
I don't do an outline. Or at least I never have.
You don't think that'll help you now?
I don't know. I don't know. Anne Rice said she wrote sometimes with the outline and sometimes without it. I don't. I don't know. I like to write like one thing happened, then this happened, then that happened. That's why I always wrote before. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know the whole story, how it's going to play out. A lot of times, as you're getting to know the characters, then you know what they would do, what's natural for them, kind of thing. Just build the story. That's the way I've always written. So
Well, you got a whole lot to work on because I mean, you have a lot of content.
yeah,
You have a lot of content, especially if it's going to be about the show. Not
yes,
necessarily totally about that, but it's so many different ways you can go with that. It's ridiculous.
right.
So,
You got to be all new characters, or you can't put these people on there. They be trying to sue your ass.
chat. Well, we gonna know who it is, so it don't even matter if you use a different name or not. We gonna know.
Right,
We
right.
gonna know, but then it'll be fresh for people that don't even know what this sector is or what the show was.
But
It'll
something like that
still,
can very easily happen because people are
yeah,
constantly threatening to kill each other and so forth. And I know I got so angry when they talk about doxing me and going into my personal life and my housing and my income and all this. I mean, something bad could happen to somebody. Very,
yeah,
so that's what we're gonna create in fantasy.
yeah. You was real angry. You was,
Yeah, you know,
you was really angry.
hurt people. It still makes me mad when I think about it. I mean, who has a right to go? It's like you. I mean, do you have children?
I do.
If somebody coming to your door and try to take your children from you because of some argument you're having on YouTube. You know what I mean? They do that. They send CPS and all that kind of stuff. Somebody trying to get your house taken from you. Are calling your job. You know, it's all wrong. It's
Yeah,
all wrong.
it should never. It should never go that far.
So they're saying this show that very well maybe the purpose of the show was to address this issue of doxing. That's what Ty told me, and that's what she also what's the other girl? Jay Dunn says she told her.
But then it's leading to people being doxxed though. So how can you address that? But then that is leading to people being.
Well, they're the producers, and they don't care about us. They want the story, right? So they don't give a damn. But the people they're using are some of the worst players. I
Uh,
think the idea was born when BS was still around, but
but
these people they've taken her place, So, but it's
I
wrong.
know, but it's sad that you went there under a different assumption that it was something else. Because I know you would have never went there if you knew that it was pretty much about that. I mean,
Right.
I don't think I can't speak for you, but I know it just like took a totally different turn than how we saw it.
No. So if it was presented to me where we want to address all this doxing and these people, I mean, people like Jason, those people, what are they doing? They're coming into people's lives. I'm going to destroy your life. Why would you make people that angry? And so
Yeah.
my story is going to pick that up. What if somebody was to get on a plane,
Mhm.
or you went to one of these groups that they put together, and people start coming up missing? You don't know about
Wow.
what they're capable of. I think it has great potential to be a murder mystery, though.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be real good. You got you something there now, Uncle Tim.
Yeah, let's hope. I hope so. I hope I stick with it. We'll see. We'll
Now,
know in a few weeks.
how many lines have you written since last week? Since you still on the first page.
Oh, but what happens is you write the first couple of chapters, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of times you'll go back to write the next day, and what you'll be writing will be in those paragraphs. So those paragraphs will start getting bigger and bigger.
Mhm.
You're fleshing out the story more, right? So that's what's happened. Instead of getting like the next paragraph, the other paragraphs are growing bigger, right? As I develop the characters. Next, I got to go into trying to develop, 5 or 6 characters.
So at what point do you say, okay, this chapter ends? Because I know some chapters are like 20 pages. Like chapter 15 I just read was only 7 pages. So at what point do you say, okay, end this chapter and then start another one?
Yeah, I shoot for 10 pages.
10 pages.
Right around there. I can stop it. Some things you can just break them up and where you want to break them up. You can make some things could have been in chapter 1, and they also could have been in chapter 2. So it depends on where you want to chop it up. But
So is your new book going to be somewhat like this one, more like talking back and forth as opposed to it being like how your memoir was? Is gonna
right,
include, like, you can make it a play.
right, right. So far, I tend to write in dialogue after I have some characters to talk. But since I only have one character now, there is no. I'm just setting up the story now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how much it's going to be. I mean, because there's also what's the other? I forget the other word. It's whatever when you write. and the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a combination of those things. But usually when the characters come in, then they start talking to each other. Then the other thing is, but you still got to describe things, and you still got
Right.
to do backstories on all these people. What led them to here, kind of thing. So it's a slow process.
You have nothing but time, honey. Well, we gonna you got nothing but time, and it's stuff that's gonna happen every single day. But you just have to well, you will have videos that can help you document, like, or go back to give you remembrance or whatnot, that way can help you kind of build the book up even more. And then you add in, little extra zhuzh that didn't
Right,
happen,
right,
but because you don't want them to think, like you said, that everything is just about them. You got
right.
to add in some extra stuff. I would be a little bit flattered if somebody wrote a book about my life. That, but I guess it's only when, if the person is being written in an unflattering way, that they would be offended.
Right. But
So,
there'll be some devils in there. There'll be some Colleens, shall we say?
oh Lord, Lord is
I
setting
agree
up
about
people.
Colleen though. I was so happy when she got her ass blowed up.
I was shocked. I was like, that's what she get for accepting all them packages. She always
But it
ordering stuff.
tells you though that she wasn't the one who had the boy set up the L.A. the bombing and all that. It wasn't her.
So it was somebody else we got to worry about.
Yes, Lord.
Oh Lord Jesus, Uncle Tim, how you like my bang?
Hey, everybody, hey. Oh, oh, it looks lovely. Look, with the ears, like a little kid.
Yes, honey, I am tickle pink, baby.
Kitty cat, right? Oh my goodness, you're lighting up and blinking everything.
Oh my gosh, well, I want to thank you for coming on tonight and next week. I'm so sad that it's going to be the last week for this book
My
of.
next episode, it's been great.
Yes, yes. So I'm still trying to find another author that we can probably use, but we'll see what they say. And
James Caldwell has written 5 books too.
oh, he has. Well, I
Yeah.
wonder. I wonder if he'll be okay. I'm gonna have to email him and see. I
Uh-huh.
don't know, cause I never talked to him before, and I don't know if he ever been over here in my quiet stand. So I don't
Well, I
know.
did this for his series. He wrote a memoir and he wrote a 4-book series. Same as me.
Okay.
I kind of got interested in the beginning.
I'm
Hmm.
gonna have to ask him and see what he say.
Yeah, or check out one of his little books.
He can only tell me no. Are they on Amazon?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to go check it out.
James Caldwell on there.
I'm gonna go check it out. Of
He
course,
let me do it. He let me do it, so he might be fine.
okay. But did you read the whole book? You read the whole book?
I've read all 5 of them.
No, I'm saying, like,
I
but
did 4 of them live. Did I read them, or did I just talk about them? I think I just reviewed each book
oh, okay.
as I was reading it. Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna see if he'll let me read, like, actually read the whole book.
yeah. The authors don't really. I mean, we care about the first year. When you first write the book, you want to sell some copies and things. But after it's been out a while, I don't think it's a big deal.
I still want to respect you guys, because if you can still make money from the books or whatnot, I don't want to take away from that. But people still bought your book, even though they listening to me read it. They still
Right.
bought the book. So, hopefully that'll help.
Yeah,
Get more sales.
series, right? Because
Yeah,
now it's just sitting there by itself. I mean, if no one's promoting it,
yeah.
this is a way of promoting the series.
Well, I'm gonna ask him. I'll email him and see. And if you talk to him before I do, just ask him for me or something.
I can ask him for you.
Tell
I'll
him.
ask, okay, how do you contact you?
He can email me. It's the same as my channel name, almondbrown09 at gmail.com. I emailed you. Remember, Uncle Tim?
I have an email. I have an email from you.
Yes, that's how.
I don't save everything. There's so much. But yeah, I'll look it up.
Yeah, and then I'll ask him as well.
Okay.
I appreciate it. But thank you so much for coming by. I'm gonna see you again. I'll see you when you go live or in somebody chat. But I'll see you on the screen next week for the finale.
Okay. Hopefully we'll have another president by tomorrow.
Oh Lord Jesus! Listen, if you're not doing nothing, Wiley is doing a live, and he's gonna be doing him and Blue Skies, which is one of his moderators, one of my mod sisters, they're going to be doing a live and talking about it, like live commentary while
Right.
everything is going on. So, hopefully, and I think it starts at 7 p.m. Central. So that would be what, about 4 p.m. your time?
Yeah, I'll be up watching it though. You
Okay.
gotta watch
Yeah.
that last
So,
night. You gotta watch that last night. I'm
yeah.
gonna watch Wally tonight, but he's already talking about he thinks Donald Trump's gonna win. I said, oh, I can't have it. I'm still recovering from 2016.
That was a little piece, but you should have called in and gave your opinion. You should have
Yeah,
called in.
I just can't even contemplate that boy. I mean that Trump dude.
Yeah. What
That's why I haven't been talking about it. I said all I'm gonna do is get myself all wound up.
worked up? Yeah.
We'll wait and see.
Well, if you can come over and cuz I think he'll be taking
I'll definitely stop by.
yeah, he'll be taking either phone calls. Well, I know he'll be taking phone calls, but he might be doing like StreamYard as well. I'm not sure about the StreamYard, but I know he'll be taking calls. And
Right.
baby, when I tell you those political shows, you get everybody calling in. Every type of
Right.
supporter, honey, they call in.
They upset.
Yes.
Such a
So
cheater, a liar. And then he's on here all day to talk about how everybody else is lying, everybody else is cheat. And I say, you're describing yourself. Every time he opens his mouth, he's describing himself. Everybody's a liar. Everybody's a cheater. Everybody's a swindler. All this shit. And he's the one that does it.
exactly. But he'll never put himself in that category. Of course not. He's a
No,
narcissist.
no. They believe what they believe, honey.
Yes, and they don't care what nobody else thinks. It's all about them.
They'll still believe it.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thanks for reading.
Yes, I will see you next week.
Bye.
All right. Okay, you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming over here and joining me again for another Almond Delights Reading Corner as we read the Epiphani. And man, listen, next week is going to be the end of our read because it'll end next week. So if you guys have not, please go and purchase the rest of his books because I know y'all going to be on the end of y'all seats at the end of this book. So the book after this one is called Muse. That is the third book in the series. And so y'all please go over to Amazon.com and all the links are down in the description box where you can go and purchase his books. And for my church announcements, honey, if you have not subscribed to me yet, but you up there in my quiet stand or you over here in my congregation, why you ain't subscribed yet? You done stay here to the end, okay? So go ahead and subscribe and hit that church bell to get your notifications when I go live or when I upload. You can also check me out on anchor.fm/ Almond Brown 09. That is my little podcast. We ain't gonna say little, honey, because we don't know where it's gonna grow to. So that's my podcast, and the link will be in the description bar. And you can listen to me on the go if you want to listen to any of the other chapters that I've read. If you want to go back and catch up, you can go do that. Anchor. You can watch the videos here on YouTube as well. If you have not followed me on Instagram, honey, go to Instagram.com/Almond Brown 09. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you want to just say, hey girl, hey, if you have any authors that you would like to suggest, y'all can email me at almondbrown09@gmail.com. All of my information will be down in the description bar below. But I want to thank y'all for joining me. Thank y'all for being over there in the congregation. Y'all know when I'm reading, honey, I don't read the I'm not scanning the congregation like that, but I see it moving. But I appreciate y'all for joining me each week that you guys have been here. It's been 8 weeks already. Wow, it's been 8 weeks. But hopefully we get us another book. And if y'all know James, y'all have James' information, you know what I'm saying? If y'all want me to read his books, then go ask Mr. Caldwell. Mobile. Go and ask him if it's okay if I can read his books and promote his books. I'm okay with doing that, so I appreciate y'all. But I'm gonna get out of here. But y'all know I gotta do a little outro, honey. But I love you guys with the love of God. And there is nothing you can do about it. I love y'all and share the video. Okay, thank you. Bye, y'all. Thank you all for joining another episode of Almond Delights Reading Corner. I pray that you enjoyed yourself and you're relaxed in your mind, in your body, and in your spirit. Come back and join us again next week as we continue our reading. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Be blessed and enjoy your evening.